Hi friends, this is Nicole Prose, Sparkle Junkie. Today I'm in part of a playlist with Girl Friday Crafts and Jeannie's Palette, and this is Dupes and Flips Paint Challenge. I have a small canvas here, and I'm going to use some gold coloring. This is a pigment that I purchased, and it is with PentArt. That's the brand. It's a metal pigment, and I'm just adding, probably not the right product, but I added some diamond glaze to it just to make myself a gold paint. I saw a painting on, I think I found it on Etsy. No, not Etsy, Pinterest. And I thought it was so pretty that it inspired me to kind of do a dupe. I don't want to say it's a dupe because the fact that I do it a little different. And I don't want to, say that I've copied someone's painting, but this is my version of what I saw. So we're gonna consider it in the dupe category, but it's not an exact dupe, okay? All right, so I'm just painting my small canvas here with that gold, and it turns out so pretty. Now, I did have to work with it a little bit here because, like I said, I don't think I used the right liquid for this, but it did work in the end, and my canvas actually had some texture to it because the diamond glaze is actually kind of a glue, and it started to dry a little bit, but I liked the texture. So anyway, here is the base layer of what we're doing for this painting, and I'm gonna dry it up here a little bit, and then I do go back and touch up some. So just take a look at what I'm doing here, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have gone back for a second coat, and then I'm doing the edges as well. And I got it, I think, the way I like it here. We're going to dry this up again just to make sure that it's all good and dry so that I can put my image on here now. Now, I want to say, before you see me doing this, I am not an artist. I don't consider myself to be an artist, but this was simple enough. I think I pulled it off. I'm gathering up some paints, different shades of green and some white. So I am kind of just taking my pencil and sketching out where I want, my shapes to be at. Now, I know you can't see the lines, but I can see them, and that's what's important, okay? So I am very optimistic about this at this point, and so I feel like, you know what, I can do this. I've got it all drawn out, and now I'm just going to take my paint that I'm wanting to use and put a little bit on my palette and then start in on the process here. you'll probably be able to tell what it is that I'm painting fairly quickly. It is going to be a floral, but one of my, I guess I would say one of my favorite florals, because it reminds me of my grandmother. When I was growing up, she had these flowers in her yard, and I love the smell of them, and it just makes me think of her when I see these images. So I'm dipping into all three colors here so that I've got some like variant, I guess you could say, and a little bit, of the dark, a little bit of the light. And I am one to mess with it and mess with it until it doesn't look like what I wanted it to look like anymore. Anyway, I mess with it a lot. And then I wanted another green color there, so I just kind of mixed two of those together to make a fourth green color. So there's one leaf, and then here's the next leaf. And I'm just, again, going back and dipping into the darker to put some shadows. And I mess with it a lot, you guys. But in the end, I really like the way that it looks. So I'm going to dry that up so we can go on to the next part. Any guesses yet what it is? I think you'll be able to figure it out real soon. But here is... I'll give you a little time while I'm doing this and just sit back and relax. Okay, I pulled out my liner there and put the little stem for the flower. And now I'm kind of drawing that stem, and I'm going to go in and do the floral part here, I guess. And it's going to come to life real quick. I just simply made a little U shape and then put the third, I don't know, it almost looks like a little foot. But as you can see, this is going to be Lily of the Valley. I love Lily of the Valley. Like I said before, it really reminds me of my grandma. And these are like an older plant. I don't really see them around a whole lot anymore. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just the area that I live in. But these are just so delicate, so beautiful, and they smell so good. Let me know if you agree. Do you have memories of Lily of the Valley at all? I hope you do. And so I just painted all the little, I don't know, little floral, they're like little droplets, almost little droplets of water. And then I'm going to go back with my liner again and kind of connect all the dots. So you got to pull up and just put the little stem that they're hanging from. Now I am going to, I considered putting this like in a frame, but then I came up with a different idea. So let's finish this up here. I'm going to use that liner brush to do a few more things, put some details in the leaves as well, and then we'll be back to finish up. Okay, so I've got that pretty much how I wanted it. What I'm going to do on the edges is use some of my Sparkle Junkie gold flakes, and I'm going to outline the edge with some gold flakes. You can find these on my website, which is NicolePros.com, and I'll put a link in the description so that you can check that out if you're interested. I am just using again, the Diamond Glaze as a glue, and then I kind of made a mess here, but there are some bigger pieces of the gold flakes there, so I went ahead and I put down some glue, and then I put the gold flake on top of that, and then I'm just going to let it sit for a minute while I finish the rest of the edges so that it dries well. So this is a great time again to stop and thank our hosts, Girl Friday Crafts and Jeannie's Palette. You'll also find links for their pages here in my description. And I really appreciate being asked to be part of this collaboration, and it is going to be fun for me because I don't always do paintings, but I do enjoy painting, and so I'm gonna. It's stretching me a little bit, and that's a good thing. Um, but yeah, so I am doing something a little bit strange here. Maybe you think it's strange, but I'm not going to cover up that leaf that's on the left-hand side there. I am going to stop the gold so that it looks like it's almost coming over the edge. That leaf is going to be coming over the edge of the painting. Hopefully that's the effect that I'll get. We'll see. But after I've got all the gold flake down, then I'm going to take a really soft brush, paintbrush, and just kind of rub with the paintbrush to get the extra pieces that aren't stuck down off of the canvas there. And you can see how it's just, there's parts of it coming off, and that's what I wanted. I wanted it to look a little, oh, I don't know what the word is, but it's not perfect, okay? Just like it was brushed on there, haphazardly almost. And I really, really like the way that it turned out. It gave it a little bit of extra of that gold oomph. Is that a word? Gold oomph. It gave it a little extra something and brought it kind of to life, I guess. So anyway, I really appreciate you guys taking a look at this with me today. And I am just, there's a few little pieces there that I did want filled in, so I'm going back and putting a little bit more glue down, and then more of the gold flake. So let's see. Yeah, just very gently take and brush off the extra. And there's what I end up with. Now here in just a second, I'm going to have a picture. There we go. There is the final result. I think it's cute, and it makes me think of my grandma. So have a wonderful day, guys.